This episode returns to the US dollar, focusing on the so-called Triffin dilemma, which serves as the theoretical foundation for Trump's tariff war and Navarro's economic playbook. For years, a popular notion has taken hold: the US must keep exporting dollars, or the dollar will collapse. But a strong dollar causes trade deficits, which kills American manufacturing. The basis? A 60-year-old theory called the Triffin dilemma. Now in 2025, MAGA Republicans are still using this outdated logic to scare Americans. America has been losing for too long. The world is taking advantage. It's time for a revolution: tariff wars, dollar devaluation, down with greedy capitalists, and liberation of the American worker. But here's the truth. Triffin is long gone. The world economy, and the US dollar's place in it, has changed completely. So, what did Triffin actually say? In the 1960s, economist Robert Triffin proposed a now famous theory. If one country issues the global reserve currency, like the dollar, it must run long-term trade deficits to provide liquidity for the world. But over time, these deficits will hollow out its economy and erode trust in its currency. It's a contradiction, a dilemma. That made sense in the industrial age, when manufacturing and trade dominated the global economy. But today, in the age of finance and capital flows, things are different. The dollar isn't upheld by exporting goods, it's upheld by attracting capital. Global central banks, billionaires, and corporations pour money into US assets, treasuries, stocks, real estate, not because the US sells them Jeeps, but because the US is the world's financial safe haven. America doesn't bleed dollars, it siphons global capital. Financial flows now dwarf trade. An iPhone may be made in China, sold worldwide, but the design and profits are American. And the global economy has grown large enough to absorb the side effects of dollar expansion. Triffin feared inflation and a collapse of trust. But innovation, scale, and the depth of US capital markets have absorbed these pressures. In short, in today's capital-driven world, Triffin's model is obsolete. So why does MAGA still invoke it? Simple, it's scary, and it justifies protectionism. Say, Triffin, and you can paint America as a victim of its own currency. You can say free trade is rigged. You can say America is being bled dry. You can declare a tariff war in the name of justice. But the reality is, modern dollar hegemony rests not on manufacturing, but on capital, legal stability, and financial openness. Let's look at two real-world cases that debunk the MAGA narrative: Japan and the UK. Japan is a manufacturing powerhouse with long-standing trade surpluses, but it doesn't have a global reserve currency. Japan proves that trade surpluses don't equal global power. Despite strong exports, Japan's domestic economy has struggled for decades: low wages, aging demographics, a stagnant stock market. The yen never became a true reserve currency, because Japan's capital markets remain relatively closed and conservative. Meanwhile, the UK has massive trade deficits, year after year, but the pound is still strong, and London is still a global financial center. Britain hasn't relied on tariffs to save its economy. It relies on capital, trust, and its role as a global finance hub. MAGA says, we're losing because of trade deficits. The UK says, we're fine, thanks. Britain's strength comes not from factories or exports, but from openness, innovation, and credibility. It proves that trade in goods is no longer the foundation of national power, finance is. In short, MAGA's story of trade deficit equals national decline doesn't hold up. And Triffin's dilemma? It's a zombie theory, useful for fearmongering, but long out of touch with economic reality. The US dollar no longer bleeds for the world. It rules the world, because global capital flows through America. The dilemma has been resolved, not through sacrifice, but through structural dominance. If MAGA really wants to help America's middle class, they should focus on wealth sharing, education, and inequality, not waging a zombie war over t-shirts and coal mines. The biggest threat to the dollar isn't Triffin. It's MAGA. In the next episode, we tackle the final MAGA argument. Can tariffs really bring manufacturing back? Let's find out. What do you think? Comments, questions, pushback, all welcome. If you like this, please subscribe and share. Thanks for watching Zindom USA. I'm Feng Ming. See you next time.